What is up, YouTube? This is Fortress Striker coming to you with another episode here on the DBS Podcast. And with me today, we have basically just me and Angel and a newcomer here. As you can see, Noah right now won't be able to join us at this time, but he'll probably still hear us for the podcast. So we hope to see him for next week. So with me, as always, we got Yeovani.
What's up, Kevin?
What's up, man? Angel.
What is up?
It's always good to see you back. And today we have a special guest today. His name is the WCA Craft, or you can call him the Ashcraft. He goes by the name of Dylan.
What is up, guys?
So Dylan, tell us about yourself.
Well, I love long walks on the beach. No, I don't know. I'm a 22-year-old college graduate. I play card games way too much.
I think that's why we're all here.
I know. Well, hopefully.
We're stuck. Well, once you're here, you're stuck there forever. It's like Vegas. Whatever happens in Vegas, it stays in Vegas. So you're stuck there for eternity.
You're not wrong, man.
Alright, so today we're actually going to finally talk about the promo cards as going to be a release, plus a little juicy sketch that today, now that Bandai has now known that we're going to get the secret rares revealed by next week, but we already now know a glimpse of them, so we'll talk about them when we get the chance. So right now we're going to go ahead and start talking about the promo rares, and like I said the last time when we did an episode when they showed special rares, we're not going to show them because who cares? It's just special rares, guys. Just move on. We already know about the cards. But I will grant you this. I am going to show you their alternate forms of the promo rares so that people don't get disappointed. So let's get started. So the first card we have is the Son Goku Super Dimensional Awakening Unison. So it does pay cost with 2 red Unison cards. So it has 3 activate mains. The first one is a +1 with it says you may choose 1 card in your hand and discard it. If you draw 1 card, then shuffle up to 4 battle cards with 10,000 power and no keyword skills from your drop area into the deck. The second one is a -1 pay cost. Add up to 2 red skillless battle cards with an energy cost of 1 from your drop area to your hand. And the third effect, pay by -3, it activates during the battle. And it says choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards with 25,000 power or less and KO it.
Who wants to go first?
I mean, that sounds like a pretty lackluster card to me.
I don't know how to feel about it. I felt like the Gogeta deck was missing something, and then I saw this Unison, I'm like, okay. And then I saw the Goku and the Vegeta, I'm like, they're way better. So, I don't know.
I feel like this card has potential in skillless. Just throw it into skillless hit or skillless Gohan actually if you want to go the red yellow route. I think it will work well with that.
That is agreeable. You could use this also in that Keiku decks, and they do form around with black red cards. I mean that's already been pretty good, mostly with the first effect and the second effect. The third effect, it's kind of basic and usual. I mean, it is good. You could use it probably for the Gogeta BR, but at the same time, it's just there for as an added bonus if you wanted to. This is mainly for skillless decks. So this considering as the 3rd skillless Unison card in a different color that it has its own support. So it's okay card. It's just not the best in the promos Unison.
Yeah, I understand that. Its third ability is just basically the Jiren, if I'm not mistaken. Or did the other Jiren target ignoring barrier?
Okay. So the next card we have here is Son Goku Godly Aura. It has 2 auto effects. The first one is when this card is played, add up to 1 red extra card with an energy cost of 1 and no keyword skills from your drop area to your hand. The second is when this card is discarded from your hand by a Union Fusion skill, add up to 1 card from your life to your hand.
Well, I guess I'll go first this time. Self-Awakener, and you get to Self-Awaken with this and add the skillless card from your hand. Yeah, it's pretty good. I think the Vegeta might be a little bit better as a searcher, but I think both of these promos really help out that deck a lot.
It is agreeable. I do agree with that. I felt like the Vegeta was the best one. I know I would read it and people understand, but Yeah, this Goku card is okay. It does. They both have the same auto effect. It's just their second autos are the ones that have different abilities. This one just helps yourself self awaken so far, but it's not really like the best out of all. So for the Gogeta support, it's okay to have. I just don't think it's the best to have.
Yeah, no, I'll agree with that. It's just again very average.
I think they're better than the 2-drop negates that can run.
Yeah, I do. I mean, I like the card. You know, I've never played the Gogeta engine. I'll be honest, so I don't know how well it runs. But my biggest thing at this is that they took the art from Dokkan and they just slapped it onto this card. That's my biggest thing is whenever I look at this card, it's the Dokkan art because of one of the Gokus on there.
Well, yeah, they take the Dokkan art, they take heroes, they take art from all over, which makes this game unique. It's
Like-
not all just super.
Yeah, that
I know.
that and also like whatever's created with Bandai, they'll just take that idea and they just put it into art. So
I think that's a unique thing that we can enjoy as fans. I like that, personally.
okay. So the next one is Vegeta got the aura. So I said before he does have the same first effect, but the second one of his effect is when this card is discarded from your hand by a Union Fusion skill, look at the top 7 cards of your deck and add up to 1 Gogeta BR card among them to your hand. Then shuffle your deck. If you added a card to your hand, you can choose 1 card in your hand and discard it.
It adds the new Gogetas from set 11, the big guys, and you filter. It's pretty good.
It's also really good to also send your vanillas to the drop area, so you can also work that way with the unison, so you can combo with that, so that way you don't have to get rid of your main key cards, or at least the same thing, the extra cards, so you can get them back to your hand. So so technically you're not negging, you're already plussing because you're gonna get them back either way.
Well, I mean, if you play Universe 4 Assemble, you get 2 guys on board for 1, so yeah, it could be pretty good.
So, okay. And the next one, if you guys have anything to say about this card?
Nah.
No?
No.
We gotta talk about my boy next.
Yeah, I do want to have a discussion with you, Angel. So, this is Broly Astonishing Potential, or as me and him have been calling it, Baby Broly. So,
Yep.
Swap 3, if your leader card is a red Broly BR card, mono red Broly BR card with energy cost of 3. 2 auto effects. The first one is when this card is played, you can't play copies of this card for the turn. Second auto is place 1 card from your life in your drop area. When this card is played, play up to 1 red Bob BR card from your deck, then shuffle your deck.
Do you guys mind me if I take the wheel, or Kevin, do you want to?
Oh, no, you go ahead.
So, I like this card for the Broly deck a lot. The only downside is that it crits the life. But besides that, he helps you set up so well. My biggest problem I've had with the Broly deck is getting the 3-drop. Out of all the cards, getting the 3-drop seems to be the hardest. And this is a small searcher for him. Especially if you get it off of Vampa, you just play this card, get the ball gets you the 3-drop, and then the entire chain is so much smoother. It's another target for Ba. It's another target for Vampa as well, so that way it's a little bit harder to whiff that skill. And like I said, it's a good thing. The only downside is that it crits life, and it doesn't have the other Baby Broly skill to be a 15k beat stick. But it can't be everything, or else it'll be broken.
That's agreeable. I was thinking maybe why they didn't add like maybe a 3-drop, but then your reason was make more sense. The bot already helps you get the 3-drop out, so that way it was the main reason why they made this card. So that you sacrifice his life, but then if you think about it, it helps you maybe it can help you self-awaken a little bit faster, because if you get by the time, you could probably maybe awaken somehow, some way by turn 1 when you go first, or turn 2, 3, depending on which one goes first or second. You already have yourself an advantage where you can already hurt your opponent now, and you can do all the extra damage, and then by the next turn when you survive, you can already do extra critical damage to your opponent, so that you already put enough pressure for them, especially since they do have crits and tech supports like the Tau. And you can also play like the Belmont, so you can also just like KO one of their cards and then just hit it with a 20k.
Damn it, Kevin, why you gotta go and tell my entire strategy? my secret text.
Gee, I don't know, man.
You mean borrowing my tech, right? Anyway, so the Brawlies is better than the other one. There you go. Dylan, you got anything?
That's actually false.
It is, for me it's not, but
Give your reason.
here or there.
Yeah.
I'd like to hear you guys like go true or false. We have every right to say what we want.
I just think it does a lot, takes a life. You get to play ball, it searches. I don't know, I just like it better. Because I would imagine the deck flows better with it.
Oh yeah, but you still gotta run. You still run the other one. Yes, it does, and on paper it may seem a little bit better, but in practice, I do like the first one. Saying as though if you turn 1, get the ball off of Bomba anyways, and then turn 2, you get the Baby Broly off of Bomba, or you play it from hand. Now you got an additional attack off of it. Whereas this this other one is just a 4K.
You know, they limited this. Like if even if it was a 10, if this was 10K, this would probably been a little bit better. But
If it had the servant ability, it would have been better.
well, that too.
No, yeah, I think they missed the boat on that part. If they were gonna do the servant overlord shit, they should have put it on this card, so it would have a nice 14K, so it would have made the deck look more interesting. But then it's just like, oh, we're just limited amount, and it makes you want to think: do you want to play 4 of each of the 1-drops, or you just play 3/3, so you have like certain spaces. And I know for the fact that. I know for the fact it's a little tricky to see how that works. I guess whatever you can do, like I said, you just play it by ear and then see how the strategy works. Is that the main idea with this card is just to help you get that 3-drop to your hand already, so you can already start working on the 4-drop. Because the main key point of the deck is to make sure that the 3-drop is summoned. Once that way, and you get the 4-drop out, then you get it. Then everything else is intact.
Yeah. No, I agree with you there. I just don't know yet entirely on what the ratio is, whether it's going to be 4-4, 3-3, or 4-3. I haven't had enough time to play test it out with this card either. But I do like the card itself that they designed it. Gio, what were you going to say?
I was gonna ask Dylan what he thought. I'm curious.
I think I haven't put a lot of time into the deck myself. I know one of my teammates is working on it. I think this is the better of the two in my opinion. I think it does a little bit more. The 14K from the other one is pretty cool, or the fact that it's a 15K. The servant abilities, nifty. The fact that this is a self-awakener that then summons a blocker to protect you. Or it's just another 5K combo that you can combo with. Or an attacker if you're degenerate like me. Like, I'm gonna hit you with the ball. Like...
That sounds like the way I'd play this game. Sounds fun.
Rocket. Hey. If it can hit the opponent, it's gonna attack. Belmont's not a blocker. That's just a pretty keyword on him. He's a 20K.
Yeah.
Everyone knows that.
He's never been a blocker.
Belmont is not a blocker.
Only in Set 9 he was a sort of blocker. That's
what? No, he never was.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
I'm a 20K free body that turns sideways. There's no keywords on that card, in my opinion.
I don't know. I play a lot of defense style. I'm weird.
I mean, his keyword was play him and plus, and that was the story of U11. Oh yeah,
Exactly.
Kill 3 casseroles or kill 2 casseroles. Cool. Play this plus.
All right.
This is fair.
Okay. So next, now we're gonna finally finish with
Moving on
red.
to the would have been broken card if not for an errata.
So now we have seen here. So we have the 2 pictures here, but I'm gonna go ahead and show everyone the alternate forms, because so that way it just makes them a little bit happy. So we got Son Goku, Power of the Golden Great Ape. So this is a blue unison that pays to summon with 2 blue marks. It activate main once per turn. Pay 2 blue energies to draw 2 cards.
No, it's that's the errata.
It's errata.
It's errata.
It got 2 erratas. The first, and it just gutted the card. So active main once per turn, tap 2 blue, and then 2 non-specific colors to draw 2 cards. And then what was the other errata? I'm sorry, Gio.
That's a really important one.
The other errata is on the -4 effect. So the original card text says that you shuffle 5 mono blue cards from your drop area into your deck, but the errata makes it so you only shuffle 1.
Oh wow, I'm actually like out of place now that you guys are telling me, because I probably didn't have the chance to see it, so I had to go to work today.
Yeah, no. They literally took the card and then they grabbed a knife and just completely and utterly gutted the card.
I mean, this card was gonna be the Goku 8. It was gonna be absurd, and now it's it's just like you play this in SS4 Vegeta and just hope.
So, this card, if it had gone through as originally printed, I believe it would have been the most expensive card in the entire tournament pack. 2, people would have complained about it because it is a unison that says draw 2 cards that the control deck will get access to. A lot of super players haven't experienced like a pure control deck and have not played against one. When the control deck is drawing more cards than you and preventing you from doing more things, it's going to be a really bad time. So, ratting it to tapping 4 is really bad, so the card's going to be essentially unplayable. But if you tap 3 instead of 4, it might be a little bit playable for the draw 2 effect.
Sure. I agree on that. Because the Android 18, you pay 3 and you draw 2. Yeah.
I kind of blame Bandai for just acknowledging the errata, even though for the fact that they revealed this card, like that was like a mistake. Like they knew this card was a problem.
It was a translation error.
Yeah, but then your job was to make sure that if you got the translation correct, make sure you double check everything so you don't screw it up. Otherwise, if you do that and you revealed it already, then people are going to expect to think, oh, this going to be this until they make the mistake. And that's like already too late. And they need to fix their own mistakes because that's just not fair.
Yeah.
And obviously, we know Bandai is never going to reprint these cards ever to what they're supposed to be because they don't want to bother.
They are. There's a reprint back coming.
Yeah, they've already done it before.
Well, I hope so because I really don't want to see that they made the mistake and show this card.
The cell cards from the event pack actually have the new erratas.
Oh, okay. That's fine. Alright. So next we got into these 2 cards that I really want to have a huge talk about, so I want to go first on each of them if that's okay with you guys.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay. So here we got another counterplay baby card. So it's Baby Saiyan Power Absorb. So this one's counterplay, and when you play this card, and if the battle card being played has an energy cost of 2 or less, it's placed at the bottom of its owner's deck instead of being played. Activate main if your leader card is a blue baby card, and you place this card from your hand at the bottom of your deck. Choose one of your opponent's battle cards with energy cost greater than their current energy. Negate this skill for the turn and return it to the owner's hand. So I really do like how this card has a way to make sure that your opponent cannot do anything whatsoever. More counterplays to the deck is just intense. So I wouldn't say that this card has a decent activating main, even though it does sound a little okay, I guess, in some people's view, but at the same time, it has a way to result to make sure that your opponent doesn't have their best cards on the field, and their counterplay is pretty good. It questions a lot of people to think, what can they do? So I also want to go ahead and give this shout out to Frank Castle, as I made a promise, who's from the Vegeta Army group.
Vegeta Saiyan Army.
So yes, I just became friends with him. He's been pretty cool. So Frank Castle, shout out to you because he made a good discussion about something about this. There's so many counters that added to the baby deck that is so ridiculous that people have seen so much clutter to it. And as much as I want to go on, I also want to reread the Revenge Big Bang tag, where it states that it's a counterattack that if your leader card is a blue baby leader, it negate the attack and then switch up to 2 of your mono blue energies to active mode and draw a card, which is by far the ultimate dimension magic for only the baby leader, which is a good thing because if this card didn't have baby leader in that text, I swear to God, people would have effing lose it and see blue as a ridiculous thing to see, and they would have automatically just banned this card the moment it comes out for like about a few weeks.
I mean, the card is kind of crazy.
But what I want to get to the point where Frank Castle mentioned in his video, he had a discussion where he said that there's too many counters that it's really hard to make the deck because all the counter cards with attacks, plays, counters, or activate battles, you name it, they're all insane. They always had too much ways to make sure that your opponent cannot do anything. So I had this discussion in my mind thinking, what the hell do I put in? Because this deck has too much cards that you have certain limitations that you can't even make this deck a 50 card deck. Now, bear with me guys because what I'm about to say could make you think I'm wrong. It's whatever you guys want to point of view, but I want to go ahead and say that baby deck is actually going to be a 60 card counter deck, because there's so many counter cards, not only just for the baby support or anything that came in Unit 11, but if you look at every counter card there was in for the blue sets that doesn't have based on what type of leader or type of card you're looking for. If you look at for just basic vanillas, like you're looking at the hit card, the Goku tag team card, even that negate that lets you have one of your energy switch, or even Mekiorb himself, who's basically like the baby, the original baby before baby became a thing, which is like Whis Portion. Like
Mafuba.
Like hell, Mafuba, Whis Portion itself, in that even this entirety of it, everything is super counter, and blue has dominated with that, especially since all it is a bunch of Senso Beans here. Even when you have the deck, the color itself is Senso Bean, of course, and it has to resolve with untapping cards to make sure that you have enough energy to hurt your opponent. Make sure they have no plays. They want to strike your leaders or your best battle cards that you need to save for the next turn, so you can evolve them or summon your best creatures to annihilate your opponent the next turn for FTKs, OTKs, whatever you want to call it. And of course, another thing is that with this negate, it also helps the deck, because the deck has the leader where when it awakens, it has to require 2 draws. It needs draw powers to make sure you have cards in the hand, which is also works well with the Unison, because the Unison makes sure that you pay 2 costs to activate a counter card, basically the 5-drop counter baby, for example, for free. So that way you don't have to pay so much energies, even though you could do that anyway. So that, and you could just use like the 2-drop cards, so that with the field spell, it makes them like 1-drops, or your 3-drop cards into the 2-drops, so you have enough energy to go ahead and hurt your opponent. It basically has every way to become the ultimate anti-meta deck of this format, that it's just so incredible. Like, you have to find a solution to make sure that your opponent doesn't draw. And yes, 60 cards does sound a lot, but hear me out. The best thing about this one is that because you have so many counters in it, you're not actually negging, you're plussing either way. And you can find a solution to every card, and they tell you, oh, I do this so that your opponent can't do that, or I can stop this so your opponent can't touch that. It's the best thing I've seen, and I know for a fact when we do get to see that certain card in the future, when we talk about later, it's gonna basically see how well it can provide, especially when you also have that 4-drop baby card, where when you can counter, and you can like summon up the counter cards from the bottom of your deck already as a plus for free, because it doesn't have so much requirements. So the deck itself is just fantastic, and this Revenge Baby attacker already made its main key point to hurt your opponent.
Can I ask you
God
something?
bless Koitsukai. And please,
Yeah,
Bandai, don't ban it. Ban it. Do not ban it.
That card is dying.
I hope not. But, you know.
Yeah. No, that Koitsukai shouldn't die. But here's my question. What happens if you go against either the Janemba or the Gogeta leader? Do you just like cry because now all your counters are dead?
And Gogeta as well.
Huh?
Red Gogeta.
No, the blue Gogeta leader.
The original blue Gogeta?
The original blue one that says pitch a card, your opponent can only activate counters once. Does this deck just like die?
But you realize, yeah, that's a good idea, and I know deflect is another thing which is also hurtful, which I have to admit is a hard thing with counters, so it's not the anti-meta. But I would say that not many people are gonna play the blue Gogeta leader, since obviously like they like to use that card for with the 7-drop that's no longer playable. So I just don't think that's ever gonna be useful.
I mean, I think the card has the potential to come back. The same thing with the Janemba one. The problem that held the Janemba back was that there weren't that many counterplays in the meta for it to be viable. But now it is a leader that's a 20k, if I'm not mistaken, it's 20k crit, draw a card, and pitch a card. Your opponent has to pitch 2 cards if they play a skill or activate a counterplay. No, they pitch 3 cards if they activate a counterplay. So that card itself, I think, would shut down. And you can activate that skill multiple times if you wanted to. So you can just keep pitching cards from your... if you wanted to, you could pitch like 2 cards from your hand. Your opponent has to pitch 6 cards from their hand to activate a counterplay. I think that Janemba has the potential to come back to just completely destroy Baby. And plus, with the evolution of all the free counterplays we got back from the last set, the free counterplays, I think it has its potential.
Janemba can play the Janemba unison. Dum dum.
which is really
Yep.
good.
It's just crick, crick, crick.
I mean, we'll have to see because I've seen like Frank Castle has mentioned like he doesn't like Janela players much.
What
Like,
it do,
doesn't-
baby?
Never been a fan of those type of decks.
What, Janemba?
Yeah, he's never a fan of those decks.
Well, I'm more than sure he's probably not a fan of the Mill Nimba. Just Crit Nimba is. I've always liked the Crit Nimba deck. Like I said, the leader just never felt appropriate at the time because there weren't that many counterplays. If I'm not mistaken, during that meta we had the Crusher Ball and Cold Bloodlust, and that was basically it.
All right. Dylan, what are your thoughts so far?
Okay, cool. I was gonna say there's a couple things. So real quick about the Janemba thing. Yes, that is a viable strategy if you were to counter the deck. However, the problem with picking a rogue deck to specifically counter something in the meta, you have to bank on that being your matchup. So for an example, at Pro Play Tour Atlantic City, I played Clash of Fates Bardog because I expected Shenron Gogeta to be the best deck in the room, right? Which, fun fact, I'm going to plug myself, I am the only person in the entire game to top with that leader because that leader sucks.
You're not wrong.
But like, so like starter deck Gogeta, Red Gogeta, and Janemba will have a good matchup against Baby. But the thing is, if Baby's only 10% of the room and you have to deal with all the other matchup spreads, those leaders aren't doing enough to get you there against like Dredge, well, green dot deck, black aggro, stuff like that.
Jax.
Assuming Vijek stays alive.
I must agree with you there. But here's the thing, is that with the Janemba deck, yes, it's to be there to be a rogue deck to counteract the one deck, but it itself could be rather strong. Let's not forget it is blue, and blue has some of the best generic cards that can go into a deck for blue.
All right, so ironically, I'm just gonna I'm not because I want to talk about the card, but I disagree with that sentence wholeheartedly. I think blue sucks. It is one of the worst colors in the game, especially for a leader right now. It just has a boony, and like everyone just rides it because a boony's a card. But the baby deck, right? I don't disagree with the idea that it could be 60 cards. If you play enough cantrips and you play enough like the cards, the search, the rest of the stuff, I think it's perfectly fine to play 60. It's not a bad idea. But the thing with deck building is like you don't need to play 4 copies of every counterplay that's been revealed, and I'm not saying you guys are. The deck is very difficult to build, like to get it optimal because there's so much crap. I don't know if I can curse on this.
No, you're good. You're good.
That's fine.
I did want to ask earlier. There's so much shit that you need to play that you're like, oh, well, these are good cards. Like, I want to put them in. That it's just a difficulty when it comes to deck building. You have to decide what cards are the most optimal for you, and like what does the most. Like the new Dimension Magic card, which is absurd, because again, better Dimension Magic. That's a 4 of, right? Like, you know that. The 5-drop ape is a 4 of, because that card is bad ring laser, and you can play it for free after you ult your Unison. And like all of these other things, it's just gonna be fine-tuning the list. Like the week 1 baby lists probably won't be very good. It's just afterwards. Like once you just figure out what counterplays are the best cards, like do you play the Trunks counterplay from set 10? Like just figuring out those types of things, you know?
I actually want to agree with you on that one. Yes, that's actually true, and I know for the fact that the 60 card thing is like it was something I was thinking about it. The problem with this deck is it has too many good cards. It's like, for a comparison with the Unisons, like green has so many Unisons that are so good, and the problem with that is that you have to think of order, like what can I put in for my green decks, because that pretty much puts you in a logic since green is the best in Unison. For this baby deck, they put a lot of effort on all the counter cards, and I'm not gonna blame that. They did a good job, but I think the only problem is you can't have too many good cards, because then you're gonna leave a player in question, like, what am I supposed to play in? How many copies of this card should I play? And what other cards, counter cards, am I gonna play as text? So that's the problem they made with the baby deck. It has too many good points, and that's like too much of a problem, because it's like if you have too much positivity, you're gonna have less negativity that can balance it out, and you're gonna make the deck out of place, and it's gonna be very difficult for a player to work with and disorganize, and they're gonna have to work with a lot of play testing. So it makes it really difficult to make this deck. Like, it's a great deck, but at the same time, it's also a really difficult deck to build. So you're putting too much effort to it, which is why, like, I would still love to play this deck, and I will play it, but in my mind, it still reminds me of, like, back in set 7 where I had to take a break because when I was trying to make a, for example, either a Raditz deck or a Vegeta deck, because that's what the decks I want to focus on because I want to try something new, I had a hard time knowing what ideas can I play, because obviously I'm going to play veggies, but there were too many veggie cards and I don't know what to play, and it was too much difficult, and you have to look at other lists, and then you have to come up with your own list, and it just puts people too much in a huge brain fart that they just feel like, I can't do this, I'm going to have to focus on another deck or just take a break from the game, and it's like too much pressure. So it's actually really put too much people in a tough spot. But yeah, there are certain cards you obviously know what you're going to main. It's just what the main idea is what you're going to do, and if you're going to go with 60, make sure you have a certain limit, okay, like 3 cards and 4 cards or 2 cards. But 50, if you're going to try that, you have to limit yourself with so many, because it's going to make this deck so difficult to play that you're probably not even going to even try playing it because it's too much of an effort to try.
So, my recommendation for you and for anybody who wants to build a baby deck, start with 60, because again, I don't think that's inherently wrong. Start with 60, and just as you playtest, find the cards that aren't working the best and start trimming them slowly. I think a counter-based deck is going to be very interesting for the sideboard, because there are cards that it has access to that, like, you could just tech in as a sideboard option, and it's just going to be really strong. Like Ultra Instinct, like the Unstoppable, right? Like, it's a 4 mana thing. We stopped playing it because no one wants to play tap 4 for that anymore. But as a 3 mana play, depending on the format, that could be a really strong sideboard attack.
Hit Deadly Vanguard's a 2 cost in that.
That's a main board card. That card's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like obviously, like about what, 2, 3, 4 copies, Jelly?
I would play 2 to 3 copies of Deadly Vanguard. I think it's just a lot of balancing, like.
I agree.
Yeah, like, find the best cards in your deck. Those are the ones that you max out on. Like I said earlier, like the 5-drop babies, it's battering laser, right? So, like, you play 4 of that card. 3 if you're, like, tight on room. It's just figuring out what cards work best for you, 1 as a player, and 2 just for how you're playing the deck, and then you trim and adjust as you go.
And yeah, it's also not trying to focus on the whole Overlord servant thing. Like, if you're gonna play the service, just play like only the most key point cards. Like, you don't have to focus with the Bola and the Bulma. Like, just stick with Gohan and Goten. They're like the 2 best ones so far.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's go ahead and move on to green. So now we got some of the Goten support. So first we got Sun Goten Brimming with Talent. Activate main by paying 1 green energy. If your leader card is a green Gotenks card, add this card from your drop area to your hand. Auto effect: when this card is KO, add up to 1 green Trunks Youth card and up to 1 green Gotenks card from your drop area to your hand. And if you read the Trunks Brimming with Talent, it's the same effect, it's just only when you get the Goten this time. So they're both the same thing.
They'll add versatility to the deck, but that's all I'm thinking.
Yeah, as I said, they're just kind of underwhelming to me. And it's cool that you could add them back, though.
I think I feel like the problem is when I test play the Gotenks deck, it's just they require like a green energy, but I feel like a green energy just asks too much. Like, most of the other cards like ask for so many green energies. Like, they should have just if they just were basically didn't ask for an energy, I think they would have been fine. But they just, like, I don't know, they just ask too much. You know, just for a cost, so you can just do all that crazy stuff.
Was pretty neat.
Yeah. Okay. Angel, what do you think of the Trunks and Goten?
You see, I still have yet to encounter the Gotenks deck at its full potential, so I am unsure. I haven't even really seen it threatening. I played against it probably like once or twice, and one of which was with you, Kevin.
You're welcome.
So I'm not. Yeah, thanks. But I'm not too sure. I really don't know how I feel on these cards.
So basically mediocre then.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we have this Gotenks, greatest fusion of all of them, and this one's the 3-drop Gotenks, so it's not really the 6-drop, so it seems a little interesting to me. So it has Deflect, Unique, and a Unifusion with 1 green energy with a green Sun Goten and green Trunks Youth. Its auto effect is if your leader card is a green, when this card is played, draw a card and then choose up to 1 of your opponent's unison cards and remove a marker from it.
Neat.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's cute. 1 mana. It's basically 1 mana. Knock a counter off, or 1 mana. Kill a 2-drop unison if they put no markers on it. That's basically what it is. Because if you're trying to, I feel like this is. I could be wrong, but this might be a sideboard card if your opponent's unisons are pesky.
True, but I was also thinking like this card is basically a key point where you can go ahead and evolve with the 6-drop Gotenks card from the draft box. Oh, sorry, not draft box. The special anniversary box.
Yes, but if you're gonna pay, isn't it 2 mana to evolve it?
Yeah, but it's not bad if you're gonna go like maybe around on the 3rd or 4th. If you go like if you have like 3 or 4 minutes, I think you'll be fine as long as you have like you keep 1 green extra mana in your field on top.
Okay.
The next card, my favorite promo of this whole thing.
Well, we did. Well, Dylan didn't give his a point of view.
Oh, sorry. I think they're cute. I think the 3-drops interesting. I don't know. So green has a lot of stuff that it just keeps randomly getting that like are auto includes in decks, like Ribrianne, Dormant Potential, Roshi, which Roshi is a card that needs to be banned.
It does. I agree.
No, it doesn't.
Looping Dormant Potential. Yeah, that's fair, but we're banning Bibity. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, well,
Bibity should be banned too, but that's a different.
That's a different.
That's a different thing.
We'll get to the point in that one. I have someone else who has a good point of view in that. We'll get to the point when we talk about Bibity. So.
Yeah, I think the 3-drop's kind of cute. It's like maybe like a 2 of in the main board, or like Angel said, he put it in the side. I don't like evolving into the 5-drop. I think it's the 5-drop from the set. I think I'd rather just spend the energy to play the Grim Reaper of Justice, because that card is super broken. And it does a lot for no reason.
Alright. So let's go ahead and talk about... Oh yeah, here's the other alternate form, which I forgot to show the viewers. But I don't know. I think this being an alternate... the one being this, the alternate art should have been given to this card, because... You know, for Gotenks is okay, but it's not that if it doesn't have a good effect that it should have that alternate form. I don't know. They feel like they get the alternate art to like one of the worst cards, I guess. So,
yeah.
So here we got Prince of Destruction, Vegeta.
Oh
wait.
yes.
It is a 1-drop 5k servant, and its auto effect is if your leader card is a green Vegeta card, and you add 1 card from your life to your hand. When this card is played, it gains double strike for the turn.
It's an instant 4 of. This card is. I already took out the door and slapped him in.
You fiend.
Oh, baby.
You fiend.
It's free.
It's
I
also
like the fact that when you play him, he takes life and he's double strike. You don't have to swing. So, like, yeah, that's also very nice.
He's also the first ever 1-drop servant card, so that's really big and important for the deck.
Yeah, it's another guy you can loop and just put back in the deck and draw a card. It's really good.
Yeah, 4 words. This card is hot. There's nothing negative about this card. And the art is gorgeous.
Yes, it's the best of both worlds. Yes.
So Noel mentioned earlier in the Discord that he said that there is no other green Vegeta. He checked. So since this card is required that if you have a green Vegeta, only the Majin Vegeta is the only one that's a green leader. So this card is already just for itself until we get another one. That it's already going to be very useful in the future. So I can't wait for players to use this card a lot.
What about...
Pick up your 8 playsets now, while it's going to be cheap. Better than what it'll be in the future.
I'm snagging the Vegeta early. We're doing that.
Yeah.
Oh, and are we going to talk about the milk next?
Oh yeah, we're gonna talk about.
Oh, she's a great card for the Garlic Jr.
And
deck.
not just that, I told you she is a promo. I fucking called it. Chi-Chi.
No one
You
got
did.
Chi-Chi Demonic
did.
Transformation Servant auto effect. When this card is played, choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards or unison cards and switch it to rest mode.
I really like this card for the deck. It gives it some versatility, some utility card that is actually useful. Like the Yamcha is turn 1 off the star, and then this card is an actual servant you may, use, and it kind of goes well when you're playing Zamasa super combo in the deck, because you can start resting, defending yourself better, besides having like Nimbus and that extra card that acts like dormant. Like, I think she's a really good card for this.
This card says play for combo.
Yeah, it also says that, yeah.
So what's also good about this card is the fact it is basically like Tardo, but you can replace Tardo since it's a servant, so you already got her out. I like the idea that it does work when you have the Garlic Jr. Awaken, and when you get attacked, you can summon this card, so you can have one of your opponent's battle cards already switched, so that they don't have to attack the next turn, or just so that you don't have to get annihilated. So you're actually protected with this card, and she's very good, very useful. So it's obviously a great main command, and of course, like you said, like she is great for like other yellow decks, since these servant cards don't have like specific types of leaders, which I like. So it works well, like you say, with Bergamo, since they always make your opponent have their cards in rest mode, so they can never play at all. So it makes the yellow even more destructive with it.
Yeah, I like it for its. I'm a defensive player, so I like it for its defensive capabilities. You just play it like you said with the Garlic Junior leader, and you can choose if you do start running the Bergamo engine in there, it makes it a lot more consistent. Like, I feel like this card did breathe a fresh of air, nice fresh breath air into the deck, so that way you can start putting in text. I tried playing the deck with all these different texts, and I always felt too weak. Besides the negate attack, like that was like the only card for the defensive standpoint if you couldn't get the Yamcha out. But this card is its own blocker in a way, and it says "fuck you, Unison."
Yeah, I love that. Fuck you, Janemba Unison. Fuck you, Bardock Unison. Fuck you, Vegeta Unison. Fuck you, Broly Unison. Fuck you, everybody. Fucking. That's.
Hey, that's a nice dual attack, double strike that Vegix has. It would be a shame if somebody were to rest it.
Lamau. Also, I love these artworks. Just have her and Bulma together in their artworks, and I don't know, they look hot when they're like demonic transformed. That's just my opinion.
She actually looks intimidating for a card. Like, the pose and all, if you see that card, you look at it and you're like, well, fuck. But now, are we going to talk about my boy, Higher Dragon?
No, we're talking about our boy, Icarus.
Exactly.
Alright, Son Gohan and Higher
Icarus.
Dragon, best buddies.
Icarus.
Yes.
Unique, when this card is played, add up to 2 yellow skillless battle cards with energy cost of 1, and different card names from your deck to your hand, and then shuffle your deck. And then you tap one yellow. If your leader is yellow, you may choose 1 yellow skillless card on your one of your yellow skillless battle cards and place it in its drop area just to play this card. Now,
From your hand.
Higher Dragon was missing something, and I feel like this Higher Dragon really pushed it.
It's a nice card to have 4 of. It's another card when you're awakened, has monsters, you can draw a card, cycling. It's also 1-drop 15k. Like, I just wish it wasn't a promo, but actually in the set. Like, it feels like a card that should have been just in the set.
I think their idea is that they wanted to get like every card from the set here that just have a promo card. Like, so I know some people were not in the color yet, but we already know that the one set that did not get a promo for it was the Dark Broly. They didn't get a promo for it, which is very surprising. But here you see like every set here from every card from the set already has like a specialty. So they try to work their way to see if it works. Some do, some don't. Some are just more tech support that they need to add more BS to the deck, like Gogeta and Baby, for example. I do like this card. It's really decent. Really helps the deck more to basically be more effective, and I really do see this as a huge main tech, of course, forward of. I can't wait to see more of this in the deck that a lot of people have been playing the red and yellow styles of the skill list.
Yeah, I think red yellow is probably the way to go.
It is.
Yep, called it.
I feel like if you're gonna have skill list, you can have any color as long as red is one of those colors, because red has done a lot well with skill list.
When we get there, I'm gonna criticize you for this, but you forgot a card.
Oh no, did I really forget a card?
You forgot about the boy for black, but back to the discussion.
Okay. Dylan, what do you think of this card?
The Icarus.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. I haven't played around with the deck too much. I'm not interested in skillless. I've got 2 people on my team who like devote their lives to it. It looks really cool. I like the active main effect actually. That one's pretty sweet. But I agree. I feel like this card should have just been in the set instead of being a tournament pack card.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, yeah, I just realized what you meant. Angel, sorry. I don't know why. This is what happens whenever
I'll post it. Don't worry.
No.
But now, the next card is actually a good card that got winner.
Well,
we
let me go ahead and just discuss this card because I feel sorry that I did this to these players. You get me?
Oh, you forgot 2 cards.
Well, there's one, so you can go ahead and post the other one. So it's Bulma at her husband's side. Auto effect. When this card is played, look at the top 7 cards of your deck. Add up to 1 blue Vegeta GT card among them to your hand. Then shuffle your deck. Activate meaning if your leader card is a blue Vegeta GT only card and you place this card in its owner's drop area, you may place the top card of your deck under your leader card.
It's alright. Oh yeah, you forgot Matt saying 6-drop. Boy, that's like one of the best cards
That's a
fact about.
When we get to that color, yes, but this one is the one card I forgot for blue, so I do apologize for the blue player.
Yeah.
Do you know for the fact because Vegeta is the main thing that everyone's been talking about this whole time, because that's the main leader, so we should have the discussion about his wife. So okay, so I want to hear Dylan's discussion about this card. And Dylan, what are your also thoughts in seeing the Vegeta card when you first experienced it, and how do you feel about it now?
Like the leader?
Yes.
I think it's cool. I don't know. I've played against it a couple times, and I've watched people on my team play it, and every time I see it, it's not impressive. So, like, blue decks, to me, outside of Baby, do one thing, and one thing only, and it's play a Boonie, and then probably lose. Like,
Play a Boonie and Goku and hit a rival card.
yeah, like, blue decks are the same. I don't know, Vegeta's kind of cool. I like the fact that he ramp. We need ramp to be
ramp, too.
yeah, we need ramp to be like an actual strategy in the game. I just don't think this is the way. Blue needs better bombs. They need a bomb that's not broken like Gogeta 7 was, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Well, they got rid of both their bombs, which was the Gogeta and the suit and the 21.
Yeah.
And also like objections because they don't want this deck to be more retarded as it is.
No, the objection was banned because of the Zamasu deck that was coming out.
No, we know, but then like
it was banned due to an Invoker having access to that
It was
card.
banned because Invoker was able to turn 3 Victory Strike.
But just
turn 3, turn 4.
But then imagine
depending on-
it'd be like SS3 all over again, but even worse. Since everyone says SS4, Vegeta's way worse. Is worse to go on against since SS3. Because SS3 is more limitations with how many energies you can have. This deck is like you can have as much as you want and not care.
Correct, but with SS3, you have an explosive turn 1 and turn 2. So you kill by those turns. With
That-
the Vegeta, it takes a little bit longer.
That and also for the fact that it untaps in the end of the turn, so it does have more of a chance than what Vegeta has done. Because that untap 3 it really does hurt your opponent because that way you have the advantage and they have a solution to make sure they don't get touched, especially with Senzu Bean.
Oh, yeah. How sad is it gonna feel if you up against SS3, they play Obuni and then they untap all their mana anyways at the end of their turn, so they have all the counterplays up. Don't you just sit there and be like, what the fuck do I do?
Wasn't Zeno's button like it's banned, right?
Zeno button,
yeah.
Yeah.
Don't talk about my child being banned.
I'm just
It
saying.
breaks my heart.
I'm just saying like that. This
It has
basically
to go.
Oboni is the Zeno button, except it's a lot stupider than. And that card might end up being hit. But I mean, what would happen if you? Okay, let's say it's not gonna get banned, but if you're playing the deck without it, like, would it be that bad without Oboni?
Yes.
Okay.
So, like, blue doesn't have a big attacker. Like, the Vegeta's cool, but blue doesn't have anything to pay off. Android 17 Turning the Tide cucks. Turning the Tide usually just ends up cucking the blue deck more than the opponent. Like I watched my teammate in Top Cut at the last 1K event we had in Jersey. The guy played his opponent played Android 17 against him and then couldn't kill my teammate. My teammate just looked at him and was like, "Okay, cool, you're dead."
Yep, you have no cards in hand. Nice.
Exactly. Okay, and what are your thoughts with this Bulma promo so far?
It's interesting. I don't know. I'm not too impressed by it. I don't have an opinion on this card. I've been staring at it this entire time we've been talking, and I'm trying to form an opinion.
Does anyone ever get the reason why it says that you gotta put a card and put it under the Vegeta leader? Like, was there a reason to that, or
isn't that the laser, the field spell card?
the Bloods? Yeah. But this says you take a card from the top of your deck and put it under your leader, which I don't get.
Yeah, doesn't put it under. Yeah, you place the cards. You put with blunts. You place the cards under your leader. So this card puts the cards under your leader to ramp up the blunts cannon.
Oh
the
yeah.
blunts wave.
Oh yeah, because everyone's been doing that since when Majin had that negate, and then you do that thing where they put all their cards absorbed under the leader.
I want that card to be good.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll go ahead and talk about the next card when we get to black. So we'll need to go back up all the way. So let's go ahead and talk about Surprise Attack Naturian Shenron. Oh yeah, there's alternate art. So it's a double.
Yes, the winner art.
So I'll let Gio read this one because I know he loves the Shenron deck.
I do. And, pour some salt onto Noel. Surprise attack, Notorian Shenron, double strike, EX evolve for 1 yellow over a Notorian Shenron with energy cost of 2. If your leader card is yellow, when your opponent plays a battle card or unison card, you may choose that card and switch it to rest mode. If you do, negate this skill for the turn. And I think it's very interesting that they gave us a chain with EX Evolve and Double Strike, because isn't that essentially what Haze does for the deck? I like the fact that it will put them in rest mode as well. It's interesting.
I said it like I said earlier. I love the defense. I love defense and defensive capabilities in this card. Just going in if I put this card in Topo, then that's just rubbing salt on your opponent's wound. Their one battle card they play just is immediately rested without the cost of your opponent having to use either the Vegeta or anything. And plus, it taps a Unison card as well, which I think is going to be huge in the meta coming up because very few cards tap. We got the Chi-Chi, this card, and that's it. So this may be a really good defense.
Okay.
Yeah, it just gives Shenron a lot more options. I could see that being 60 cards in the new set, depending on what people play. So they give a lot of versatility. It's like toolboxing the deck. But.
Yeah, have you noticed they are with the idea with 60 cards, because thinking about it, people have to put so much struggle if they would have left it back in 50. That set 10 was not a 60 card deck. I mean, Vegix was play on, but you can work with 50, so it wasn't a problem. But imagine if they didn't do 60 right now and currently, and here at 7-11 they have a few cards that people go up to play 60 because they want to adjust it and make it go in, to go a little bit crazy, so they can work their way to get their main key cards, and they can I get to play this card and I can finally do that. But it's at the same time you're going to struggle to not get that card, or you're going to miss the timing when you finally get that card. It'd be too late, and you're just what, maybe I should have played this card or that, and then side decking is one thing to another, so it's a little tricky to see how you can now just play cards like this or anything else, not just from this set but from somewhere else, or in the near future when we get to see these other cards that are text from old school decks, or for newer decks that work out. You want to see how it does depending on the card effects and the texting. So I would say it's a good card. It's not bad. I mean, it's just, what are you gonna do? You're just gonna have to fix it right. You just play with it what you have so far until we get to the final 3 Shadow Dragons, and then By then, we'll have to see what people have to do to play take out and slide in.
Final 4 Shadow Dragons, mind you.
I mean, we already have 4 Shadow Dragons at this game. We're only missing 3.
No, we're missing 4.
Omega, isn't it?
Big Papa
Yes.
Shenron.
But Omega is just Sin Shenron with just all the dragons. It doesn't really count as 8 dragons.
His name's Omega. It's a different Shadow Dragon, and we all know that his name is not going to be Sin Shenron. It's going to be Omega Shenron. So it's going to create new plays and new combos.
I don't know, man. It is Bandai. You never know anymore. I hope you're right though.
No,
That's true because we don't have Maju. All the Maju cards are just Oob.
Yeah.
which is ridiculous. But we still have Mr. Majin Buu.
Yeah, I was going to say, but we still have Mr. Maju or Mr. Boo.
Mr. Boo. Mr. Maju will happen. I know you're not here, Noel, but when you watch this episode, you are going to get it, and I promise you're gonna love it.
Yeah,
Are we
Noel.
just going to force Noel to play the Mr. Boo deck?
Oh no,
Yes.
we're just doing it just to piss him off. I just don't care.
He hates Mr. Boo.
Beautiful.
He hates it because they don't reference the text saying Majin Buu under the character, so he's like, oh screw this, and I'm like, no, you are gonna play this
it
card.
was glorious.
It was the glorious thing for U7 at the time. Gio, you remember playing Mr. Buu? How fun was it?
Oh, that was tremendous. Yes.
It was beautiful. I'm waiting for the green. I knew that green one's gonna be a 2-drop 20 vanilla, and then we'll have a black leader. It's gonna say yes, Mr. Majin Buu with rainbow color.
I mean, probably, yeah.
Yeah, and then
You know.
no one can eat shit. So now we can go to Gio's current favorite color in the meta. So we got
Black.
So here we have Super Saiyan 4 Son Goku Beyond All Limits. Overwhelm 6. Auto if your leader card is black. When this card is played using Overwhelm, add up to 1 black battle card with an energy cost between 3 and 7 from your warp to your hand. I'll just say mine quick. Fuck you, Vegex. All right, go ahead, Gio.
Well, I don't think Vegex is playing this one per se, but I think it's a very interesting card. It's like Baby, but an overrun 30k. So I think it's very. I think it'll probably be in the Dino Goku deck, if anything. And I find it interesting that they're printing all these 6-drop overruns. Like if we're supposed to play 6-drop overrun in that deck, so I
Coincidence?
think it's interesting.
I think
I am hyped for it. I just don't know how good it will be because I haven't played with black yet. I haven't played with these black cards yet, so. Dylan, tell me,
What's up?
good or bad?
Indifferent. No, I don't know. It's. I think the strength of this card lies in the target which you're adding back. Like, it's a 30k overwhelm. It's a free overwhelm, which is cool. It just matters to me, like, what is that card that you're adding back? Like, you're not grabbing a super combo. You know, you're getting probably, like, just a good combo piece. It'll be interesting. It's not like when they first revealed Scientist Fu and we all lost our shit, and it was like, this card's obviously broken.
Yeah, those are great.
It was a great time. No, yeah. Very pretty art, though, I'll tell you that.
Oh, sexy.
Oh yeah. I mean, I think one of the targets could be a Trunks Overseeing Time that's been getting more play lately.
True.
But I don't know. We'll have to see.
All
I
right.
think that I have to see it in action versus seeing it in paper.
Well,
I will say,
Angel, what do you think?
It reminds me a lot of the 4-drop Trunks that grabs you something from your warp. The only problem is that it has its limitations of 3 and 7. So you can't grab your big boss card, the Food Shattering Mystery if need be. And you also can't grab your super combos like was stated earlier. So it has its own limitations to it. If I see it being played, I see it as probably like a Tech 1 or Tech 2 of. So that way you can evolve the other Goku on top of it, but it's not my cup of tea.
yeah, I think this is like my least favorite of the 3 that were revealed or the 3 black tournament pack cards.
basically when we're discussing about it, it kind of shows you like maybe this card isn't good because you're pretty much just spending a lot of overwhelming energy from the drop area just to get back one card in a certain energy. That it's okay to have, but at the same time, is this 30 drop really worth it? I mean, I think it's just there just to not only get one of your cards back, maybe you could Xeno evolve it, but at the same time, I don't know. I don't think it's pretty much that worth all that. It's just on this, it's just 30k and that's it. That's all it is. There's not much to say, and I don't know. That's just too risky. I wouldn't pay that much for just to get one card. So forget about it. I'd rather just use Gravy to get me my cards back and call it a day. So next we have here is Super Saiyan 4 Bardock fighting against Fate. It's Overwhelm 6 and it's dual attack. Now I kind of want to say this is not really a good card you want to use for promo. I'm not going to diss the dual attack. There's nothing wrong with that. It's fine. The problem is, look at this card as a promo, which it just has dual attack. Nothing else. No crits, no double strikes, no ability to do something or whatever. And then look at the Goku we saw before when we discussed Black, and that just has this. It has Overwhelm 6, same thing, except it had double strike and crit, and that's a rare. Look at the comparison in that. Like I mean, yes, they're both mostly going to end up being for Xeno Evolves or anything, because someone already discussed that the Bardock is for Xeno Evolve SS3. But outside the picture, I'm just thinking like, couldn't this card like done more? Maybe triple strike or something. I don't know. Do something creative more than just dual attack. Because that being a promo, I think this card should have been either uncommon or a rare, and get the Goku SS3 the promo. So that way it's a lot of fun. Because I feel like that I feel hard to believe to expect this to be a promo and make it difficult to get. So that's what I think.
I think it's interesting. I think it's a good card if you need a pressure card.
I like the card a lot. I like free cards that swing twice. I'm a degenerate. I'm gonna throw a chomp on that for trying to do 4 damage with the card.
Ooh, let's go. Yeah, that's true. That's true, Kevin. With the Champa, that's 4 damage.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. Oh man. So what? Team Gohan leaders probably like, hey, my new best friend.
Like, all right. So let's work at we're gonna go into Magical Fairyland, right? Because this card's definitely getting banned. But assuming Bibity doesn't get banned, just wait for your opponent to drop a free 25k that swings twice, and they go Bibity Champa both times, and you go, wow, thanks, Dad.
No, that's glorious. Yeah.
I mean, I see this card, like Gio said, going in the red Gohan deck, or if you put this in red green, you just do the arrival to give it double strike for the entire turn. Just swing twice.
Okay.
You swing twice and then you use the Frieza to give it crit.
Exactly. But does the Frieza give it for just that one battle or just for the turn?
Oh, wait, hold on. We're in Magical Fairyland, right?
Always.
Oh.
Okay. You drop the 4-drop. You play the 4-drop Shenron and give this crit naturally. Then when you combo your rival to give it double strike. Now you got a double strike crit duel. And how much energy did it cost you? It only cost you 5.
Okay, so working off of that, but like, I mean, it's still Magical Fairyland because who runs these cards except for Vegeta does. But Shenron, the Wish Granter, plus that card. If you can find a way to get 7 more cards in the drop, you have a 40k triple strike dual attacker. That's a secret rare. Again, you gotta find a way to get 7 more cards in the drop after you overwhelm. But like, if a Jax can do it, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can do it. I'm more than sure it's highly possible, depending on what you have on field.
oh, you can definitely do it. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it all depends on what you have on field. It depends on what color you're playing too, because if you're not playing black and you attempt to do this combo, every other color has the mill 3 combo. So there's always that. Burst 5, certain cards. Can't remember what cards are burst 5 that you can do this consistently with. But it's fun. You can do it.
I was gonna say, like, to comment back about that Bibbidi card super combo. P Cyber 5950 commented on one of our last week's episodes, so shout out to him. He says, in quote, "I enjoy the content, boys. Your thought on the ban list were nice, but I think with Bibbidi and Vegex is that Vegex drops cards for free, and Bibbidi plus Kai turns any card into a finisher. And yes, there are answers, but the only permanent answer are green. If I Jocko or Kai Bibbidi back to your hand, you can use it again on the one-drop Kai. But I agree the community has to figure out some cases. Blue cards are great." That's pretty much what he said, but like, what are your quotes on like his thoughts on the Bibbidi and everything he just said?
Alright, so like, I'm already kind of quitting, but like, assuming I wasn't quitting the game, quitting actively playing the game, I'll still be around. But I'm pretty sure I would take a break if on the set 11 ban list, Bibbidi is not touched. I'm pretty sure I'd look at it and go, that's cool, I'll see you guys in February at TOP2 after the other ban list. Bye.
That's
and we can all thank Sandy for, you know, showing the world, you know, splintering mine and Bibbidi and all that, you know.
Yeah, lovely Sandy Cater.
Love him to death.
Bibbidi breaks the math of the game. Like, I'm assuming you guys play during set 2. Like, do you remember, like, you used to be able to count out your opponent's combo? Like, they have 6 cards in hand. Like, they can hit X amount. Like, if they have perfect curve. You're like, yeah, this is great. Now they just combo a Bibbidi, and they're like, alright, 35k off one combo, and you're like, what?
Yeah.
Oh,
I never feel safe
good
until I know
old
how many
days.
Bibbidis
I routinely kill my friends and teammates with 1-drops, just because I can, because my super combo says plus 35k.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's glorious.
Of course, I do remember when Mira was there. Like, everyone expected to go up to that 100k stuff, just to like, oh yeah, I'll do this, 100k, ha ha ha. Oh, you have a single, like, oh yeah, well guess what? I have a little Champa, and I'm just gonna double strike. I'm not gonna do that bullcrap Mira stuff to get the double strike. I'll just give it Champa, which also gives an extra 10k because screw you, I win.
Mira Creator Absorbed is my least favorite card in the game, and I wanted it banned for like that whole like 6 months stretch. That card knocked me out of 4 consecutive top cuts.
Done.
But then
until Vegex replaces Bibbidi with Mirror Creator Absorbed, and nothing changes.
But now combine Mira with Bibbidi, and you have FU to the face times Champa.
That's BM. That's beyond. Yeah.
We live in magical fairyland, sir. This is what we provide for.
I mean, I would love to drop, you know, Mira, Champa, 4 Bibbidis, and 2 Kais, and, you know, just obliterate them. And,
you know what? Add a little Frieza to it. Why not?
Exactly, you know, but...
Alright, but hear me out, though. Because I'm gonna help Kevin. I'm gonna segue here. See, you're gonna do all that, right? You're gonna swing your Mirror, you're gonna chomp it, and you're gonna combo all 4 your Bibbidis when I'm at 2. And I'm gonna activate the effect of the Mass Saiyan Brainwash no more. And I'm only gonna take 1 damage. Ooh. There's your segue.
But doesn't it crit the life though?
It does. But
So
I'm
then
not
I'm-
dying.
I mean, if I'm playing Broly, I wouldn't mind. You crit that card. If you crit that life, I'm just gonna go ahead and play the Mass Saiyan for free, or the Resolute for free. Pluses.
It doesn't actually work that way.
Okay.
Is it ruled that it cannot come out from your opponent taking a life?
It's never come out that way.
But
So why would it now?
its text literally says when your
I
opponent
know what
takes
the text says, but it's never come out that way.
Is it really, Geo?
Yeah.
Sorry, what happened?
Alright. He's saying, like, if so you activate this and you create your own life, would he be able to summon Bardock to Resolute because you took your own life? And I've never seen anyone play the common.
Let's see. Bardock the Resolute says... If you lead a card is red and your opponent's life is added to their hand or placed in their drop area by a skill, you may play this card from your hand. No, I would, if I was judging that tournament, I would rule that works. You're activating the Bardock, the Mass Saiyan, you're critting the life, and that card is going from your life to your drop because of an effect, and then Resolute would trigger. The thing with Resolute that did get errata or changed was people were playing him off of, like, if I swing my leader at your leader and you just take the damage.
Yeah.
People were like, ha, summon Bardock. That's not a thing anymore.
I mean, can't sing Kava still, activate skill, double strike, and still summon Bardock. It's a skill to give him double strike.
I think they said the strike skills don't count. It's weird. I don't know. Red's also just in a weird spot as a color.
It's the worst color in the game.
It is at this point, yeah. It's doing terrible.
Red has so many tools that should make it good, but it has no good generic leaders. Like, if we get a red leader that says swing, take a life, draw a card, Red might actually just resurface.
Funny enough, I think one of the best red generic leaders is probably going to be the Hit Reboot, or maybe even the Broly, because Broly just says on the front side, get an extra card, gain crit. And then on the back side, you can just throw in like the baby Broly just for shits and giggles if you wanted to. So that way you always have crit, but it's a 20k beat stick.
It basically helps itself self-awaken so much anyway, so it's like decent enough to help itself anyway. It knows the position where it's at, but it doesn't care as long as it can awaken for the next turn, and then you get that, like we said earlier, does the 3-drop. Big Baby Broly, swap card out so you can summon the 4-drop, make sure you warp a card from your opponent's hand, then you build it up for the 5-drop, then the 6-drop, and just try to hurt your opponent as best as you can.
Yeah.
So anyway, we'll go ahead and talk about the last and final black card. So I'm gonna let Dylan have the chance to read that one. So go ahead, Dylan.
Oh, sweet. Alright, cool. So Mass Saiyan, Brainwash no more. Overrealm 6, so you don't tap any energy for it. Super broken. Auto when this card is played using Overrealm, place up to 3 black battle cards from your warp in your drop area. Activate battle, tap a black. If your leader card is black and you discard this card from your hand, place 1 card from your life in your drop area, and your leader doesn't take damage for the battle.
I'd like to revamp my quote earlier about fuck you Veggies with the Goku, so saying fuck you Veggies with the Mass Saiyan.
I like this card a lot.
I do too.
I mean,
I hate to say I do like this card. I just say fuck my life. It's gonna hurt me.
It hurts people shotgunning.
No, that's it. You can't do it. Pays 1 energy and that's it. Who cares? You can't touch you can't be touched. You're untouchable. They don't care if you use a battle card. You're gonna help them with the drop area so they can warp
but it's
one.
just for the battle though.
Yeah, it's only one battle.
Yeah, but that's the thing. You have to, and you get no damage whatsoever for the battle. So who cares? As long as your life is untouched and you can just do whatever you want. This card already just says, yeah, fuck you. I just did that. What are you gonna do about it?
I mean, this card's there to stop either a double striker, triple striker, or it stops victory strike. I could see it potentially stopping the Vegeta if they're like that greedy where they don't want that deck to ramp. I could see it being there, but I don't care too much for it, honestly. I'll be honest, I don't care too much for it. Like I said, it negates a double strike, triple strike, whatever. For the 1 mana, but you pay the cost of critting a life. And I never like critting my life.
You say that true, but at the same time, it does help you. But remember, you were playing Jiren at the time. Jiren did the same thing, where you just do.
No, he did not.
No, you crit. When you're about to take when your opponent attacks your leader when it's awakened, you go ahead and take a card for your life. And as long as you have like certain like U11 cards, you take no damage. I mean, that was one of the. It's like a little similar to the. Yeah, it has like its own specialty. I get you, but it's a little similar to it. Only this one is you just pay a black energy, and then you just send this card from your hand to activate it, so that you can take a card from your life, and you'll take 0 damage from your leader at all for the turn. So.
Well, look, I'm gonna contest you. There is that it's not like the thing is the biggest difference between this and the Jiren. Is the biggest factor is the Jiren is a lingering effect. Like, you take 1 life, that's it. Your opponent can't hit you at all. So, meanwhile with this card is, you crit the life. Whereas the Jiren, you take the life to your hand. So you're going to crit a life and prevent 1 damage from, or you're going to prevent damage from 1 attack. Now, that's the problem. That's the problem I have with this card. Is it useful? Yeah, it can be. Because you can stop yourself from just ultimately dying from a triple, quad, or whatever. Is it good? I feel like it's gonna fall in the category as the 3-drop Gohan. Well, the 3-drop Black Gohan. But burst 5, you can't take damage from double, triple, and quad strike. And I feel like that's where it's gonna fall.
I would agree with you. Yes, the crit it does hurt, but because this is for black decks, let me be honest with you. Like, yeah, you don't get the card in your hand. That's true, but at the same time, that's very good for black decks because since they ran the whole overroam thing, they don't really care. As long as they can do the thing where they can just summon their big cards and then they can restock everything. And like I said, this does work so well for Jedic since all they do is just make sure that if they try to deck out, they'll just revamp the cards they had in the drop area back to the deck and whatever. And this card helps them so that way they don't get to deal with all those crazy decks like what Majin Vegeta is doing right now with all the ramping, you know, and all the other aggro decks that just want to hurt you, like Broly or anything, for example. I know Broly's not going to be touching Vegix in a way because, you know, Vegix will find a way to stop Broly before they do all their crazy stuff. But either way, it's just for example. And I just think that this card is very productively great for what it does. So I'm thinking for you, it just sucks that, yeah, I agree, because I don't like creating a card from your life and you send it to the drop area. It does hurt. But the difference is the fact from what we are for this card is that we're not black players. We don't stick with Overum all the time. We don't mean that stuff like what Yeovani has done, because Yeovani and other players who are very interested with the whole Overum stake love to see that this card does that and they can work their way with the type of decks they're building. That's either Vegix, Demigra, the SS4 Goku, Gohan, whatever you're playing, and they can work their way with the drop area. They control the drop area, do all their crazy stuff, and so that way they can play around and just make sure that they're untouchable, so that way they can hurt your opponent by turn 2 or 3 so that they take the wins. That's like also the competitive see this card is like, that's a good keep card, either for side decking maybe if it doesn't work for main deck, just in case of what type of deck your opponent is going to be playing. But they would probably maybe play at least maybe 2 copies of this card in the deck, just for example. Maybe if I could be wrong, I don't know how a competitive player would see it, but however they see this in the competitively, they would see that this is a very good defense card, and they're not gonna just like shit on and like leave it there, even though yeah they don't get the added card to their hand. They don't care. They just want to make sure that they plus in the drop area so they can annihilate their opponent in turn 2 or 3, like I said. Like, that's my point of view of seeing how what this card can and may do to the game.
I think its major usefulness is like it's just giving black an actual like defensive tool. Also, so like it's a 30k overwhelm. Like the Dark Broly deck is gonna play this card because then it can recycle it. It can play for the overwhelm, do its auto effect, combo it, eventually end it back.
I mean, the Dark Broly deck also plays Mirror Creator Absorb.
You're right, it does.
Dun, dun, dun.
Stop! You're giving me nightmares. No, I like the card. I like the fact that they can just protect yourself. And it's gonna be super cheeky because somebody on stream is gonna get bodied by this card. It's kind of like Godstrike Beerus. How like people aren't gonna expect you to have the card, and they're gonna combo all out on their like triple strike swing. They'll be like, "There's no way you can out combo me," and then you, all right, cool, tap a black, crit 1 life, and your opponent's like, "Oh, fuck."
That's fair. Okay. Well,
Agreeable.
still.
Okay.
Like, it's gonna turn into the new explosive Kid Goku. Instead of killing the battle card, it's just negative damage. But each
Okay. So now that we got all the promo cards out, let's go ahead and discuss about the secret rares that's actually happening here. So I took a little thumbnail picture that I have, Photoshopped. So if you take a notice and you zoom in a certain bit, where I'm showing to the viewers here, we already have now revealed that we are already going to get a Unison. What we're surprised about, we obviously may have to see a black Unison as the first one, since we do see that there are going to be 4 multicolored cards in the effect where it allows you to draw 3 and then has a continuation. Now, many people were already speculating for review in our DBS Super card game group page on Facebook that this is going to be, and this will be just rumor for now. If it's true, then that's fine, that's great. If not, Well, we'll just play it by ear. But it's going. But we're going to say this is going to be Super Saiyan 4 Vegito from Dragon Ball Heroes.
Woo!
For the Black Unison?
Yes.
Or the Black Seeker Act?
Yeah.
That's fair. My thought process as to what it could be is, I mean, it might actually just be the same form, actually. I didn't think about that. But I thought it could be AOD related or Universe 7, as they're the only two decks that have any association with 4 colors so far.
Yeah, I agree. I was thinking about AOD, like it was gonna be like something with AOD, since they do play that Ultra Instinct Goku with the same ability with the 4 colors.
And you do, like, you can, if you zoom into the card, get a little bit of, like, the effect out. So, like, you see you draw 3 cards, you gain X amount of power, and you give triple strike to either, like, the secret rare itself,
No, it's
or
triple attack.
to something else.
It
Or
says-
triple attack, my bad.
Well, what's catching me with this card is your opponent can only activate counter skills one more time for the turn as well. That's gonna like destroy baby if that's the case.
I was also thinking, like, we hope to God, thank God this is a Unison, because I know the one thing about Unisons that with Secret Rares, we do see some of them have like 40 plus. I know you guys were saying earlier that the Shenron promo one is 35, but I think the difference is that's just a promo secret, because we never had promo secrets before, so that's a little different than regular Secret Rares.
This card, as I say, this card feels like it's going to be a 45.
Can you imagine, like, but like as a black Unison, that'd be ridiculous, because then you just summon for like with 1 energy, and so you can have like a free 40 drop already on the field.
So, you know, I'm sure you guys know this, like, in the set, there's a lot of cards, not a lot, but there's some cards that have specified black energy.
Yes.
I wouldn't be surprised if this card has specified energy. However, the 4 color thing, it might be a black secret rare that makes you tap 4 colors to play it.
That is very true.
That's a
That's
very
the name.
It could be like, because it has a permanent, and it looks like it says you can't, like, this card something. It says this card something attack, right? So it could be like this card can't attack until it has X amount of markers on it, just to skate around the idea that it is a 45k that could come out for 1.
So this may be the Unison 4 AOD, so they already do that thing where they have the ability from the leader where all the cards are being treated as 1 instead of just being different colors. So it could work that way. Also, like that, the puzzle blocks off for like the certain type of the tab where you can see a Unison color. So we're probably obviously I'm gonna stay with it's gonna be black, since we do see multicolors. If it does, maybe it'll have a reason why it's that color. Okay, so then we do know the next one we do have here. I'm gonna go from right to left. So we're gonna have a blue secret rare. So yes, blue gets another secret rare. Whoop-de-doo. However, I'm excited because it's going to be the first blue secret counter card. So, and I know this one hypes Geo because people were speculating. I'm thinking baby, but this one you might enjoy this, Dylan. That it might be the baby Hirudegarn, or sorry, Hachiek. My bad.
Yeah, I do also think it's baby Hachiek. However, it could be baby Hirudegarn. We haven't got that form yet, and there is Hirudegarn support in the draft box. And if that Hirudegarn becomes a control deck, that could be something else. I'm super worried about this card for you guys because counterattack on a Seeker Rare is a little wild, especially when it's getting its cost reduced. It has 2 permanents on it, and it looks like it says your opponent can't attack for the rest of the turn, based off of the last 4 words in the counterattack.
Lamau. And also, you could play this free with you when you use the Unison when you pay like
that too.
$5,
Yeah.
So that'd be stupid.
This card is Force of Will from Magic. It's just Force of Will instead.
And then finally we have on the left side here under the green puzzles is red. So red finally got the secret rare, and so
Red Brawly.
it's just gonna be Broly, where everyone's gonna speculate Broly because I mean, who wants to see a Gogeta secret rare? Like, we already have one, and we're done with that card.
Well, it's Broly because you can see flashes of green, and everyone knows that green is Broly.
That. Although you could, if it doesn't work that way, I mean, if you want to tech it, you could probably also play that Frieza secret rare from Clash of Fates with the Broly tech if you want to, but you don't need to.
Well, what I find interesting with this secret rare, with the blue one, is from what it looks like, it's going to be able to gave your leader plus 10k power until the end of your opponent's turn. So you're gonna have a big bean. It doesn't look like it's an active main once per turn, so it might just be push comes to shove, you can just give your leader big power on your opponent, and then your opponent just looks at it like, oh shit, if I don't get topoed, then I'm gonna just have to out combo a 30k leader and hope for the best. Unless you're playing Bibbidi, and then you just basically laugh at it. And then I'm just curious to know what the second part is, because
That permanent's super interesting, yeah.
yeah, all cards in your opponent's leader and battle area, something with 30,000 with something power, and then it just says and just stops with just power. So it could very well permanently be reduce your opponent's all cards in your opponent's battle area and leader area by 10,000 power. Which
That second permanent must scare you right now because you might be afraid of what that permanent might do. Might either be affected to either you or your opponent, depending on what that does.
well, it affects your opponents. We know that for sure because it says opponent's leader and battle area. So imagine just dropping a big body, sitting there, and your opponent not only has to out combo by an additional 10 every time they swing to just hit you, but then you give your leader plus 10,000 power, and this thing has barrier, so
It also looks like it has another keyword. Like, if you look to the right of barrier, it looks like it has something else. So if it's deflect or, like, one of the strike abilities, it might be really strong.
Oh, really?
well, I think that it, if anything, I hope it has a deflect barrier secret rare that just sits on the board and your opponent can't.
That'd just be
basically
ridiculous.
do anything. Like, I'm excited. I want to see it. I'm about to drop some money, and hopefully it's going to be the worst secret rare out of those three, but it's still going to be pretty good, just like how the Glow Tank was. So
I think because DBS did say like which one for by a voting thing on Facebook, they want to say which cigarette they want to reveal first. I know many people want to see the unison, but I'd rather start with the lowest, so that way we can start hyping ourselves, you know, so we can see like the best out of the best out of them. What do you guys think?
Screw you guys, I voted for the blue one.
Yeah.
Black Unison, because I thought it was going to be Black Unison. Been wanting a busted secret rare Black Unison.
Of course you would, Gio.
I voted for the red. I want to see what this Broly's going to do.
So
I mean, you know.
So Dylan voted for
It's supposed
blue,
to
Gio
surprise
voted for black, Angel voted for red. I didn't vote for shit like I always do, because I'm gonna let this be random, and then we'll talk about it for by next week, and then we'll discuss our point of views, like what do we think about these cards and why they're great, or why is this effect is shit, or why did they add that, or blah 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 blah.
Hear me out on this one. Hold on, real quick. So we're getting SS4. If we're getting SS4 Vegito, Hachiyak Baby, what's stopping us from getting Majin Broly?
What's stopping us from getting Mr. Boo or Mr. Majin or anything? I don't know.
No,
Mr.
I'm
Boo Secret
saying-
Rare, let's go.
No, but I know you're being serious. I know that. I'm just saying, like, what is stopping? I don't know, because that has to be what the worst of what Bandai has to do. They have to make sure that they're gonna do that. They gotta see something that's based around it. Because remember, they had to take the time and effort to come with effects and ideas that they can work around with the deck. You know, they can't just come with an idea and go, it's just like that. You know, they pop out of their head quick. That takes time. That's why they take a while. Which is funny because they still end up, like, when they do get good ideas, they already made the deck for it, so they have to make copies of that in the future. But then by the time when they do, you never know how long it will take for the game. I'm waiting to see until we finally hit set 20 to see if this game is still good or not. But I'm gonna see, like, maybe, when are we gonna get, like, other boost support from, like, Heroes and Xenos, you know? When are we actually gonna get that Kid Boo card from set 3? If you look at the picture from it, Dylan, there's a picture of Kid Boo and he's doing, like, a barrage attack. But that artwork has never been once revealed, and Noel to this day is still winning because he is 100% a die-hard Boo player because he loves that character so much.
No. He's not a die-hard Boo player. He's a die-hard Mr. Boo player.
Thank you.
Exactly.
Well, guys, we all know that Mr. Boo is the best form of Boo.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Kid Boo's garbage. Like, who likes kids? Like, what? He's
Yo,
just a small pink
can we
guy.
start?
He's Mr. He's got a title.
He
Yeah.
Can we
was
start
full
a
for that.
petition to get out Frieza Boo, Cell Boo, and then Krillin Cell I want to see these cards come into fruition. Bring back some memories.
Tiancha, give us that card already, so we can finally get that proper Tian Yamcha leader. Like, just make them both the same leader, so we can get the Tiancha fusion for once. And runs with the Goku card.
Something that I want to see us get for, like, I don't care if it's a secret rare, but I want a Majin Buu card that actually starts absorbing your opponent's cards. Like, if it absorbs one of your opponent's cards, and then you can, once per turn, you can choose a skill on there and it gains that skill. That's something we need. We had something like that with the Buu that took the Gohan, but I want to do it from your opponent's side. Start taking what they have. That's a beautiful victory strike. It would be a shame if I were to take it.
So I'm with you on, but like with conditions. So like a secret rare that takes, or like maybe not a secret, but like something, right, that takes your opponent's stuff and gains effects based off of what it's taken. Could be really cool, especially as a unison. Have you guys played Yu-Gi-Oh? Do you know like number 86 heroic champion Ranga Manamada, whatever the hell the card's name is?
Yeah.
He gains effects based off how many like warriors or monsters he has tucked underneath him.
Oh yeah, that card got banned because of it. So
card's super broken, but like that'd be really cool and super.
So dumb for like, I mean, it was. I think what it was dumb for like. Let me see. It was the from when Pendulum started, when they had like the beginning of the art of
it got hit because of a card called number 23, Bamboozling Shadow, because you were able to turn one, put all the materials underneath of it. It was a more recent hit in Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah. This is like later when that was probably when the so what was it after Vrains came? Because I only played one up to like the beginning when Vrains came out, and then I just quit the game. But I see what you're, because everyone like take that a lot in most warrior decks, especially it was the star deck. That was one of my favorite decks. It was one of the top, the original meta decks they had when Pendulums came. It was part of that set and Duelist Lines. It was also where they had like Burning Abyss and Schnells. I don't know why I'm forgetting them, because it also had that XC that also got banned because it was stupid. You probably know what I'm talking about. It was the Light Warrior Angel deck.
The name escapes me.
I have it on the tip of my tongue.
It's like, no, I hate when you know this and you can't forget. Like, where the hell is Stevie?
The Herald deck.
No, not Heralds. It was Star. They were like level 4 warrior types that they exit summoned, and they did like these stupid effects. Like, they had Deneb. I know one of the cards' name was Deneb. And Altair. Like, that's just the warrior's name.
You're talking about Teller Knights, right?
Teller Knights, thank you so much.
Yeah.
God. Yes, Teller Knights. Like, that's what that deck worked well with that card, because it was so stupid where they had these cards where you summon from the hand in the graveyard, and then you search them, and then you automatically summon them on the field, and you just place them on that card, and then you just obviously body over your opponent for game. Along with Cowboy, of course, because you gotta end every game with Cowboy.
Cowboy for game. I love it.
Bandai needs more Cowboy, yes.
So, well, we'll wait and see on these secret rares. I'm sure we'll see one next week or tomorrow or whatever.
I mean, they did do that. They brought it on a Saturday, and then they brought it on the next day and the next day following. So they probably will reveal it by then early, but I think they should wait till like the weekday. And then if they do come up with a discussion, I think they might have the ban list, but might think we might have a ban list when we were discussing about it. But I'm going to go in the same time say they might not have a ban list. But they are not Konami, so I do want to see if they can do a proper ban list. And please, guys, if you're going to do a ban list, please make sure you also do a limited list. Don't just errata cards and ban cards. Just limit to, for reasons why we see that, so that we can make the game fair and balanced. Because if you're just going to ban cards and errata cards, you're just destroying your own game, and you're just making it more difficult. This is why people end up going to Digimon.
So, what cards do you
since you said Digimon, Kevin, I'll let Angel finish.
Well, I mean, we have a limited one. We have the Frieza. The Frieza got limited, and they tried to
Cold Blow. No.
And the 3-drop though.
Yeah, but that's it. I mean, we also
We
did
had-
get Trunks get limited. The one that the unyielding Trunks got limited, then it got banned. But that's the last time you're ever gonna see a card ever get limited. We haven't seen cards get limited ever since.
Bloodlust was put to 1 before or after Trunks got banned. I'm pretty sure.
you know, Bloodlust is staying at 1. The Cell stays at 1. Flute was limited before it got banned.
Yeah, Flute was another one.
I feel like if they do a limit list, we might see the bean on the list, because I don't feel like it should go all together, but I do feel like it should be limited down.
I put it for semi-limited.
I want dormant potential to be limited. I want that card to be.
Yeah, things that are not happening.
Yeah, don't kill this for Geo. He knows how much Dormant has been very good for his Go Hunt deck. Isn't that right, Geo?
Good for my Majin Vegeta deck, I'd say. Look.
Yeah, don't hurt his pride, dude. Come on, don't be like that. You can shit on his black decks and his blue decks. I don't care, but don't shit on his.
No, I mean, like, genuinely speaking, I feel like dormant potential should be limited down, because having a free Nimbus is a little bit too strong. But Roshi should be banned altogether. Like, if they keep Roshi up, then dormant should definitely be limited, or they should limit both those cards.
So, like, what they should have done originally planned with, back in set 4, what they should have done was ban Goten, but limit Bardock.
Yes.
Okay, so, I don't like limiting cards. I just don't like it. I think it's just better that we ban stuff. Also, Roshi needs to be banned.
Yep.
Nope.
But they need to bring back my boy.
As a green player, Roshi needs to be banned.
Nope.
I agree. Ban Roshi.
Nope.
Ban Abuni.
No.
Keep
No.
Bibbidi.
Yeah, I don't care about blue.
No.
Viva Bibbidi.
No.
Give
I
Obuni unique. That's all they need to do.
Or just a
They're
Rada.
not doing that.
Well, Rada Bibbidi
He's
just for a
getting banned.
Majin Buu leader, so you guys can start complaining about banning him already. So that way, we'll not
Exactly.
play.
I mean, the boot deck dies in a fire once Bibbidi gets touched.
Yeah, just
So-
yeah. So just look, I'll put it this way: Errata Bibbidi for just making it only work for the blue leader. Obuni can be okay. Question: would you rather have the card banned or at least at 1?
And
I would rather ban a card than have something at 1.
Okay,
I say Obuni's fine as long as it's like you can only have 1 on field. It's the same thing with the Turles. I feel like it shouldn't be banned. It should just be 1 on field or 1 per turn. Well, Obuni would be 1 on field.
Are you talking about the
Turles
black
would be 1
Turles?
yes, we
bring back
discussed.
Turtle.
Listen,
Bandai, listen.
The way to fix the Turles was just to errata it so it only worked with the Hatchiak leader. That was like
No,
how
that's-
you
that's bad.
actually fixed that card.
So,
It probably is.
Otherwise, it was too good. Like the card's absurd.
okay, how about this? If Battering Lizard comes back and it does come with a Rada, it has to just say if as long as your leader is your leader is a yellow Frieza. How about that? So you guys don't have to complain about Battering Lizard.
No.
No.
I think Battering Laser should just come back in general. Because
No. Please, no.
Yeah, I agree.
No, it created a whole new, different era of strategy in there. You have to be worried if your opponent has a yellow mana up, just like how you have to be worried if your opponent has 2 red mana up. You sit there and it's a giant game of chess. And I
mean, like, if we're gonna bring back a card minus Killy Zone, thank
no,
you.
because that
Yeah.
that literally shuts.
All right, so if we're just asking for like obnoxious cards to come back off the ban list for Nervin, can I get Zeno button back? Because I have a lot of decks I'd like to play again.
I'll do that if we get my boy Shugesh out of the damn ban list.
So, no, Shugesh is banned, but Bulma, play red.
No.
Boom.
Yeah. No, because that's
Yeah,
bullshit.
well-
You guys want everything you want. I can't get one damn card in this whole world. Screw you guys.
Hey, you can have Shugesh back if I can have Zeno button. I don't care.
Deal.
I mean, you can have
Xenobutter.
the Xeno button if I could have my Battering Laser.
That's fine. You're just naming cards. I'm gonna play in the yellow deck. So like, it works for me too.
Just bring back Turtles to 4, Bandai.
Oh, you're such a fucking idiot, Gio. Come on.
No, wait. Hold on. Wait. If we're gonna bring back Turles to 4, I say bring back Bardock, bring back Goten, and bring back the Flute.
Exactly.
Oh my god.
Exactly.
No. Get the fuck out of here with Flu at 4. Get lost. What the fuck is wrong with you, dude? making me go Spanish. What's wrong with you?
Oh my god.
Are you serious? You're
great.
bringing the most cancerous card in this ban list? No! No, dude!
Wait. Can we
No,
talk about
because
the
if you
one
do
card?
that, okay, if you do that, then objection has to be at 4, so you want to make it all ridiculous. And
Yeah, let's just get rid of the ban list altogether.
yeah, you know what? Screw it. Let's get rid of that Radas. You know what? SS3 and Mecha Frieza back to
Exactly.
normal. Let's do that. I'll give
Exactly.
You can have your
Oh my
SS3
god.
and I'll get my Mecha Frieza back to where it was, so I can annihilate you scrubs.
Wait, can we talk about the one card that definitely needs to be banned? Like, everyone can agree? We got the boy. Shu. I think he should be banned altogether, like, and every variation of him. This card was too obnoxious and too good for his time. Like,
So that's why he turned red and tried to make Pilaf tier 1. Yes.
I don't know, man. I mean, there was a yellow shoe, so I'm not gonna shit on that.
Super combo.
Yeah, the super combo. I mean, come on, man. Don't ban her Shu. Shu did nothing wrong. If I have to say, the all fault there has to be whatever Noel likes, because I know for the fact whatever makes him happy is very cancerous, and I want to help those fellow Utonians because they are struggling to deal with Noel. If you'd like to go ahead and make a place call here, send a donation to help us make Mr. Boo so we can annihilate this dirtle here. So make sure that no one from Utah gets annihilated by the cancerous man known as Noel. Come on, sign that petition, man. It's really serious. And while you're doing this, make sure Shu gets his at 4. Thank you.
yes, I do. Please do. I think Shugesh, if he were to come back, he should just come back to only yellow Saiyans. Because
I mean, that's all he's ever good for anyway, for Yellow Saiyans.
no.
Face Goku on tap 2 is back, yes.
You guys remember when you would Shugesh into what's the Goku that on tap 2 man?
Yeah, he just said it. That.
Preface.
Oh, preface.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I know, but that was the only reason that promo ever existed. And when Shugesh died, that card had no purpose to live. So it just stays in the shadow forever. It's a sad world in DBS, man. When a card dies, everyone else dies.
There's a ton of plays you can do if Shugesh comes out. Like, I do want Shugesh to come out because you can. What was the blue? The blue Goku and U, are those 15Ks or 20s?
Those are 15Ks. Their abilities have made them gain 5K.
So, Shugesh into the Goku into the U, now you have a double striker and a crit. Lit.
Yeah, like good old, and that's the
low cost is free.
make announcers good again.
Announcer? What would announcer need to be good though? That's the question.
It didn't need that stupid limited effect from the Awakening side, that's for sure. It could have been better, I think. It could have just been something more, because I just feel like once you have to keep that card up front for a while until you have a certain life, and then a certain thing you have to do is just awaken and then play that effect for the game and then kill it. But I don't know. I don't like to limit myself. If I want to call it the right time, I want to use that effect and just hurt my opponent out so I can just end it for good. Because I don't know.
You know, we're talking about how this is gonna be the Vegito SS4, but let's not forget we're in the Dragon Ball Heroes. Can this secret actually be the Goku hidden Jiren? Could it be?
Actually, how awesome would it have been if... Remember when the set 7, where they had like 3 characters based together on the Secret Rare, like Vegito, Zamas, and Kefla were Patora earrings, and Raditz, Broly, and Vegeta were Super Saiyan 3s. Like, your idea, but like if you watch the Dragon Ball Heroes anime, there was one where you can have like Hit, Jiren, and Gogeta, all 3 of them in one Secret Rare.
Oh my god, that'd be so
That'd
good.
be like
I think
the ultimate universe warriors there.
I think if we get that, that can make Zeno good again. Like, I want Zeno to be good. That leader, I want him to be good. The problem is he has a worse limitation than the announcer because you can't even run extra cards.
I mean, he's a good U6 leader. That's as far as.
That's all it is. We are pretty much off the side. We were just a little goofy there. So I guess we'll go ahead and call it a night now.
Yeah, I was about to say, Kevin. But I did want to say, before Angel interrupted me, Bandai, I am so hyped that you're bringing Digimon to America. And all of us are hyped and supporting Dragon Ball and Digimon. Want to thank you for always listening to us, Bandai. Even when we bitch about cards that later get banned or don't get banned, but you're always listening.
What the hell did
DBS Podcast, we appreciate you.
Except me, I never appreciated Digimon.
Yeah, honestly, same here. Like,
So I guess we'll go ahead and call it a night. So everyone, I want to thank you so much for coming in. So one more time, I'm going to give a shout out to Frank Castle with his video. Glad to give him a good shout out, like I made a promise to him in the group. So I hope he checked out the video. I also want to go ahead and thank P Cyber here for getting comments. We hope to hear more comments. We're glad to see that you're with us on our shows, and we appreciate for your subscription. I also want to thank Dylan here for being our special guest. So this might be his only time here on the show since he says he's going to be leaving the game soon. So Dylan's been great having you here. So we hope we wish you well in the near future, and I hope you have for the best and stay safe out there in the real world with situation.
I appreciate it. Alright, so like real quick, so like just decided, this is the thing. I'm still going to be around. Like I have a team that I run. Like I'm gonna pay attention to the game. So if you ever guys ever need a guest,
Yeah.
me back.
And Joe owes us a podcast with Dylan and Joe giving us funny antics. He owes us, you know. Maybe next time on the Dragon Ball Podcast.
But
I do want to appreciate everybody that watches our comments, likes, that does everything. I have been noticing that people have been, as soon as Kevin uploads, I see that people are watching instantly more, and I want to say thank you to everybody. I have been noticing that, and me and Kevin really appreciate that.
we really do, and it's always appreciated with Geo too, because at the same time, as much as they get to watch it, the person I always think is always Geo, because like I said before, Yeovani was always the guy who got me to do this, even though I didn't really want to. But he pushes hard to make sure I do, and I've been having a great time and really working hard, even though sometimes he hasn't really been like with us because of certain personal reasons, or he's just too lazy, depending on it. My words, but as a friend, I do say that it's great to have you here, and when you pushing us more is the reason why we got here, and we're almost reaching this channel to 200 subscribers. So it's very appreciated, man, because we're almost there to reach 200 subscribers. So I will say, if you guys got us to 200, I pretty much I'll do what I done before, like my 50th episode, 50th subscription or 100 subscription. I'll probably do something, maybe something nice, maybe something stupid. I don't know. We'll see if we reach 200, but it's really something like. So I've always thanked Giovanni.
Do it. I want to see.
So Giovanni, again, thanks for coming to the show. But again, we'll see you next week in discussion for secrets, because I know you're gonna, I don't know, spooge your pants for that unison if it's the first card to be
Exactly.
And of course, it's always glad to have Angel here, like always. It's always great to have him around still for a little while. Yeah, that's what I said.
And Dylan, I appreciate you for coming on, buddy.
Anytime.
And from all of us here in DBS Podcast, you go ahead and give us a like, share this to your friends, subscribe if you're new, and of course go ahead and... What?
I completely disconnected.
Oh. Well, we thank you, Angel, for being here this week, and for next week and all the episodes you're on.
Alright.
And that would
Thank you. It's always a pleasure to be here. It's always fun.
And that will
I don't
be...
get a shit given that much, but it's fun.
Yep, and that will be $50 for joining in.
$50?
$50.
I only have 100.
Oh, I'll take that 100. And go ahead and also check us out on our Facebook page. I always link in the link for the description below. And this is Fortress Striker signing off.